Confronting high credit card debt can feel scary, but the good news is, if you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, financial relief options are now available. National Debt Relief is currently offering debt relief designed to reduce what you owe and put you on the fast track to becoming debt-free. If you qualify for debt relief, you may be able to pay back less than what you owe and save thousands of dollars. Just visit nationaldebtrelief.com. Imagine only paying one low monthly program payment you can afford and saving money as you become debt-free. National Debt Relief has already helped bring debt relief to over 550,000 U.S. consumers, earning thousands of five-star reviews and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. You're stronger than your credit card debt. Let today be the day you start turning things around. Take the first step and visit nationaldebtrelief.com to see what debt relief you may qualify for. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.
What time is it? What day is it? Where am I? Ah!
He's Derek.
I don't hear the music. I can feel the bass.
She's Romaine.
They can come visit me at my cattery and they can get a picture of me and my pussy.
This is Derek and Romaine.
2.0, bitches. Meow. Meow. Hello, Derek.
Hello, Romaine.
Oh, man. Me and my pussy.
I know.
Always doing
What a mess,
fun
what a
things.
mess, what a mess, what a mighty big mess.
Always.
Mighty big mess.
Always, always, always. Anyway, how's everything going?
Fantastic, Romaine. You know, sometimes I do a little sing here on the show. And, you know, the internets, they have these AI algorithms that are searching for copyright infringements on music. But the good news about the way I sing is that it's impossible for a computer to have any idea what song I'm singing because I'm so far off from what the song is.
That does not surprise me.
It's totally unrecognizable. So you're welcome, everybody.
Aren't we all so lucky? Yay! Good
I think
for
we
us.
are. Even though we are in the worst ass parts of winter right now. Brr! It's cold in here. Mm-hmm. I wish there were some toros in the atmosphere
Me
instead
too.
of what is already in the atmosphere, which is
Cold.
wind, snow, blah.
You know, Derek, during the wintertime, it is very easy to get blah, right? To get depressed because the days are short. There's no sunlight. Sometimes it's super fucking cold. You can't go outside. I don't know about you, but I get real depressed during the winter months.
I'm not somebody who normally deals with seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
However, I am glad now that it is getting light. You know, sort of early. You know, it's staying light later and later in the afternoon again.
Yeah.
Because I do have to say the time change last fall and then it getting dark at 4:00 in the afternoon.
So
just
brutal.
made it feel like, you know, at 8 p.m., I would think, is it midnight?
Yes.
Is it 2 a.m.?
Oh my God. At like 5 p.m., I'd be like, is it bedtime now? Because
Yeah.
it's dark
It was-
outside. I must want to go to bed right now.
It was awful.
So
It was
bad.
really
It's
bad.
really miserable and I fucking hate. And you know, I remember when I was a kid and I would think, oh, it got dark early, but it never felt like it got dark this early as it does now as an adult. And by the way, I always felt like as a kid during the summer months when the days were really long, I felt like it was daylight until like midnight. And now I'm like, if it makes it to 8:30, I'm like, oh my God, it's so nice that it's still daylight at 8:30. But how do I remember it so wrong? Why did I think it stayed daylight so much longer growing up than it actually does?
I think because you did not care whether it was light or dark.
Maybe. It just felt like in the summer months, it was light out until so late at night.
Well, in the summer, yes, but also you were further north. So it was light out until almost 10 o'clock at night in the summer.
Oh, well, I don't like short days. Let me just put this. I hate the short days. They make me miserable. I definitely get sad. I do have the seasonal affective disorder. I find that I do much better when there's more daylight outside. And I will tell you, whatever the day is of winter solstice, which is usually like what, December 21st or some shit like that.
Girl, what am I, a calendar?
I don't know, but I will tell you, the day after is always, I'm not even joking when I say this, it is always my favorite day of the year. Because I know that after that date, that the days get longer.
Yeah, but now you got like 10 more months to go until you get there again.
Oh, I know. I know.
But I mean, it is getting. Look, here's the thing: the worst part about winter is it feels like it goes on forever, but eventually it does end.
It doesn't. No.
And every day we are closer to the end of it than we are to the beginning of it. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah,
here we are cheering you up.
And so I actually thought today we could talk about how you kind of survive those short days in the winter months if you get stuck indoors. Because I don't know about you, but
indoors.
I actually use this time very productively because...
Has your wife, wait, hold on. Why are you stuck indoors? Has your wife locked you in and you can't figure out how to get out?
I don't like to be cold. I don't know if you know this, but I don't love to be cold. And my wife does not turn up the heat in the winter months. Although now that we're in Texas, it's
not as cold.
It's not as cold. Thank fucking God. So maybe I'm out more, doing more things, but I'm just going to say, typically in the past, when it's cold outside, I don't go out. Think about it before. Like in the last couple of years, I am always down at the farm, right? I was always going down there and having coffee at the farm. And in the winter months, we'd have to move it indoors, which was not nearly as fun. But
been so many months since then. I can even remember that far back.
What's the farm? Who are those people?
Who were those farmers?
I don't even know.
Ryan and Misty? I don't even remember.
I don't remember either. But I will say, I don't go outside a lot when it's cold outside because I don't like it. I really, really don't like it. Now, maybe this is going to be the opposite now that I'm in Texas. Maybe now it'll be the opposite in summer. I'm not going outside because it's too fucking hot.
Yeah.
We'll see. Who knows? I don't even know.
Girl, it was 90 degrees in November. So
I know.
I don't know. I really, honestly.
I don't know how I'm going to do it.
I don't know how you're going to survive the summer. I really don't.
I'm going to die. Anyway. But I will say, historically, in the winter months, I have found really great ways to get through the winter months without suffering and also being pretty damn productive. So, for example,
through your depression, you're productive?
Yes, thank you. Sometimes I am. I'm a very productive, depressed person, according to my therapist. She says I'm the most productive, depressed person she's ever met, by the way. And that's not a joke. She's actually said that.
I mean, I guess congratulations.
Yeah, she says I'm very good at staying motivated even in my deepest and darkest depressions.
Well, that is okay.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, I think that's good. I guess it's better to be depressed and motivated so you actually can sometimes get a feeling of accomplishment rather than not. I don't know. Point is, here are some of the ways that I keep myself busy during the winter months and productive, and I wanted to share some of this advice with our listeners.
Okay.
So, one of the ways that I do it is with indoor activities, right? So, I am a project person. I love to take on a project during the winter months. Sometimes it's something like I'll take on a closet in my house. I will clean the closet. I will go through and get rid. I do kind of like my spring cleaning a lot of times in the winter months. So that way, when spring comes, I can actually go outside and enjoy it. So like I will do like a good closet clean out. Get rid of all the clothes that I no longer use, don't fit, donate them to charity, whatever. Get that shit out. Sometimes in the past, I have done top to bottom closets where not only have I cleaned out the closet, got rid of all the junk, but then I will go in and put in like a whole new closet organizational system. Like I did that with Iris's closet a few years back where I went and got her one of those Elfa systems from the Container Store, and I hung it in her closet and completely changed her closet and the functionality of it.
This is honestly one of the best things about moving is that you've had an opportunity to start everything from scratch.
Yeah.
And completely rethink like your closet organization and all that kind of stuff. So in this case, you're really getting a twofer this year because you have new closets to move into, new stuff, like all of your old stuff. You are forced to reorganize it anyway, even if you weren't going to do your spring cleaning, winter cleaning, spring
I do it during the winter.
Cleaning?
Yes.
I don't even know. Okay.
I do my pre-spring cleaning in the winter.
Very confusing.
But this is a great time to take on a pantry project, right? Because like pantries get crazy. I don't know about your house, but my house, the pantries get we've always had this teeny tiny little pantry, but in our new house, we have this gargantuan pantry. I mean, this pantry is easily 5 times the size of our old one, which is amazing. But I also know that's 5 times the space that my wife and daughter can just clusterfuck. So for me, one of my winter projects is creating an organizational system in the pantry that you can find everything you need to find in like a bin or something like that. I'm going real Marie Kondo on this shit. But that way it stays organized. It stays clean. You can find what you need to find. Like that is an awesome project for the winter.
By the way, did you know that, the spices that you buy at the supermarket?
Expire?
Yeah. You're supposed to replace them every 6 months?
Every 6 months?
Yeah. What am I, Rockefeller?
Yeah.
Like, that seems insane.
And also spices are expensive.
They are expensive.
I thought like every year or two, but 6 months, that seems
6 months,
way too
apparently.
short.
Yeah. So look, here's the thing. I enjoy tarragon, but I mean, I'm never going to use an entire container of tarragon in 6 months.
No. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No. This is in some ways, well, if you're going to follow this guidance, because remember a few years ago we had the thing where the pepper people with the tin were like, if you still have this tin in your thing, that was more than 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You need to throw that pepper out. Like, that's how old this is.
I remember we did that a while back, like not this last year, but like maybe the year before. We went through our kitchen and there were spices in there that were easily 10 years old. Easily. And I was like, oh my God, why?
I mean, I think it's not like it's bad for you, like it's going to kill you but they
I think
don't
it depends
have
on the spice.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any flavor to it. They're all dried.
Mm-hmm.
So unless they get wet and then can get, moldy or something.
Right.
They're just sort of dried. So they're just there being dry.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sealed up in the thing. So, but the flavor diminishes over time.
Right, that makes sense.
You use a teaspoon of whatever it is, but if it's been in there for 5 years, a teaspoon isn't going to give you any flavor at all.
Right.
In some ways, like if you think your spices are old, double them up in the recipe because you're probably not getting that flavor otherwise.
Right.
If you're getting any at all.
That makes sense because like sometimes you open up a new can of like a spice and it smells so yummy and good, but then like sometimes you open it up and it doesn't smell like shit. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
But it also has a good argument for using fresher ingredients.
Yes, but also why, because I know you've gone through this like meal box thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the meal box things, they include like little packets, like spice packets and whatever else with them. And the thing is that even though those meal boxes and everything are more expensive than going to the store, the reality is, if you're buying full containers of those spices and you're not using them very often, that's money wasted. So, you might actually get your, depending on the meal box thing and everything, you might be getting more bang for your buck just with the included spices for the single use of the spices, get better, fresher, whatever.
Right.
But I understand people going like, oh, no, it's fine. I've had the same spices in my thing for 10 years. They're fine.
What do you think is the oldest spice in your spice cabinet right now, Derek?
I mean, probably actually not that old because, well, actually, you know what? There are definitely things that are in there that are more than 3 years old.
Okay.
So probably, let's say 4 years old.
Okay.
Because Brian was cooking all the time. Mm-hmm. And so we went through spices pretty fast. Like if you're cooking a lot of meals in a week, you're going to go through, if you just cook at home a lot, you're going to go through a lot of spices.
Yeah.
So this 6 month rule, actually, you're going to get pretty close to it if you cook a lot. And so when Brian was there, he cooked a lot. Mm-hmm. But when they left, they didn't take any spices with them.
So they just started over again. Oh, that's expensive.
But that was the thing, is like they were going to start he's not keeping his spices for 10 years like a lot of people who very rarely cook would do. So yeah, they might as well start over.
Wow.
But this is the thing with like moving, because realistically what I should have done
is thrown everything out and started over.
Yeah, because I sold my house in April, and then I moved into the new place in November, and I didn't do any cooking like at all summer long. I mean, there were some things that I would throw some other spices in there that I had, but the reality was I wasn't like aggressively cooking.
Right.
And so realistically, the spices that I did not use, that I haven't used yet, I should almost certainly chuck out, because at this point now, it's been at least a year
Right.
since I would have used them in the old house or whatever, and they're almost certainly, if I didn't buy it, it's more than 3 years old.
Right.
So it should probably go.
Oh,
But it does feel like you're throwing money away
yeah, sure.
to throw away all, because those things are expensive. But it's also why they come in those tiny little bottles.
Right. That's true. You make me think that with the spices I rarely use, I should only ever buy the teeny tiny bottles of it.
Yeah, just baby and scary and no other spices.
Yeah. Makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Sorry,
So,
Posh.
other indoor projects that I like, and this is something I've done many times during the winter months, that is when I paint things. So if I want to repaint my bathroom or I want to, freshen up something that needs to be painted, I always do it during the winter months because you're inside, you don't want to waste that kind of time during the summer months when weather's nice and fun and whatever. It's when the days are dreary and gross and horrible that you can just lock yourself into a bedroom, put on a TV in the corner and paint to your little heart's content.
But what about fumes, bitch?
What about them?
Well, you just
Gets
want
you
to be
real
in
high.
a paint fume house for all winter long?
It doesn't. How long do you think paint fumes are hanging out? You could crack a window if you need to, but honestly, I've never needed to. It's fine.
I would feel suffocated.
You are such a baby. It's not
just telling you
suffocating.
how it is.
You're so weird.
How is that weird?
You are. You're very strange. I'm telling you, it's a great time to do your painting projects.
Okay, I think it's a great time for you to be inhaling fumes while you're trapped indoors.
Yeah.
I guess if your house has good ventilation, like if you have like an HVAC system that is pumping fresh air into your house in the wintertime, it's probably fine.
I'm dying to know how many paint fumes you think are coming off of you painting a
them.
wall or two in a room. It's not that bad.
How
When
bad
was
does
the
it
last
need to
time
be?
you painted something?
You mean like a
Like a
portrait?
room. When was the last time you painted a room?
I mean, it has been a while.
Yeah, so you don't even
And
remember.
we did a lot
It's
of
not-
look. We did a lot of painting at the old house.
Yeah.
A lot of fixer upper stuff we did in the winter.
Yeah.
But even still, I don't think it's good for you in the air.
It's not. You're very dramatic here. Like I said, if you have to, crack a window, but honestly, you don't really even need to. Paint fumes from just painting a wall, it really are not that bad. Does it smell a little bit? Sure. But is it bad?
Is it good
No.
for you
I don't
to be
fucking
inhaling
know.
these fumes?
Someone's got to inhale them. It's not like you're aerosol spray painting them.
And the people who paint in your house have a mask on.
Sometimes they do. Not always.
Well, I'm just saying.
I think it depends on how you're painting. If you're doing if you're using a sprayer in painting, then yes, you definitely need to wear a mask. And yes, you definitely need good air circulation. But if you're just rolling on some new paint, no, girl, you're fine. You're fine. Or maybe that's how I got so special. I don't know.
You are a specimente.
Yes. All right. Here's another one of my favorite activities in the wintertime.
Okay. Aside from poisoning yourself?
Aside from poisoning myself, aside from organizing and cleaning, I like to spend my winter months planning my next vacation. Because usually I'm not on a vacation in the winter months, but I am usually getting ready to go on a vacation in the spring or in the summer. And so I find it gives me something to look forward to. Right? It gives me something to be excited about. And that way when I'm like, oh, these months suck. But then I can be planning something really fun that's going to be coming up in a couple of months. And it just makes me feel better during that gloomy kind of time. So what I would say to our listeners is, now is the perfect time to be planning your next DNR travel vacation. We're always going to new crazy fun places on our cruises. A lot of times you can plan them really far in advance, but or if you already have one scheduled, you can be looking at things like, what kind of excursions do I want to do? What kind of sights and things do I want to see when I'm at these different places? It's the perfect time of year to be thinking about the future and the fun that you're going to have. So I say plan a vacation during your winter doldrums.
What if your future has no fun in it?
Well, then that means you're not going on a DNR trip, and you're right, that is no fun. But you can change that. That's the nice thing. You can always remedy that. Doesn't it? But think about it, Derek. Doesn't it make you feel better? Like just thinking about what your next travel adventure is going to be? Because when I start thinking about it, I get very excited. And then I'm like, oh, this place I can go snorkeling, or oh, this place I can do an ATV thing, or oh, what? Like then I start getting excited about the trip, and think about what I'm going to pack, think about who I'm going to hang out with, think about where I'm going to eat my dinners, what kind of desserts I'm going to have.
Here's why I'm less enthusiastic about this as a strategy to put this in the minds of the listeners.
What?
One, obviously, I want them to go on our trips and everything.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, they get excited about going on trips and things during holiday weekends. Like during time that would normally be my time off is the time at 1 a.m. on a holiday weekend. Hey, I have 10 questions for Derek.
Well, you don't have to answer them at 1 a.m, Derek. You can wait and say, I'll answer these questions on Monday when I'm back in the office.
Sometimes they are time sensitive. I mean, not 1 a.m. time sensitive, but also anyway, there are a lot of messages like, how come this isn't happening? I'm like, well, it's a holiday weekend. So, it's probably not going to happen today. But I understand.
What Derek is saying to you listeners is plan your adventures. Just don't plan it on a holiday weekend when he's trying to enjoy it.
But the problem is, people have jobs, they have lives, they are busy during regular times. Mm-hmm. It's only during their off time that they think, oh, I should deal with this thing about the trip and whatever else. So it's always in the middle of the night. It's always on the weekends, like constantly. The other day,
right?
I was trying to watch TV and enjoy things, whatever, after the show, and I literally got 10 work emails after 8 p.m. on a regular old Tuesday night. Because that's when people have free time to think about these things.
Right.
So the fact that we're doing this pre-record now means the show isn't live, which means now is a great time for them to contact me about whatever.
Okay. Well, listen, the listeners need to be thoughtful about these things.
No. They want to get things off their plate.
I know they
and put
do.
it on my plate.
But you know what you can do, listeners? If you do email
Send it to
Derek,
Romaine.
hold on. If you do email Derek on a weekend where it's a holiday weekend and he's enjoying his day off, you could write in the email, get back to me on Monday.
Okay. I think what you should do instead is, if it is a holiday weekend and you have a travel-related question, contact Romaine.
Well, we all know how that's going to go.
And then she will let me know after the holiday weekend is over what I need to know. I think this is a great solution.
I mean, you could do that. And again, I say, we all know how that's going to go.
No, I'm so sick of people emailing me saying, forward this to Romaine.
I don't know why they do that. It's not like my email is so much harder than your email. But you know what, Derek? I feel
it's because they know I respond.
I feel like you have kind of created this problem a little bit, and I'm going to tell you.
By trying to have a functioning business?
No, let me tell you why. Because you tell everybody that I never respond to my emails, which is not true. I actually do respond to the emails that require responding to. If I don't respond to your email, chances are it's some kind of hot nonsense that doesn't need to be responded to because it's hot bullshit and I'm not interested in responding to it. But if it's an important thing, I almost always respond to it very, very quickly. But I feel like because you tell people all the time, oh, Romaine never checks her email. Oh, Romaine never reads her email. Then they feel like they have to send it to you so that I will actually get a hold of it because you'll have to forward it to me. And they think that I'll read an email from you when I won't read one from them. I think you have created this monster.
I didn't start this.
Who did?
Your reputation didn't come out of thin air, girl.
I told you, I respond to important shit. I'm not responding to hot nonsense. And if that makes me bad, oh well. Oh well. I'll take that if that's what it takes. I will respond if it is an important matter. If someone writes to me and needs something and it is important and pressing, I will respond to it. But if it is hot bullshit nonsense, of which we get a lot of, I'm not responding unless I feel like it. And then I will, if I feel like it. I don't engage in nonsense.
Don't you?
Except for on this fucking show.
Yeah, you do engage in nonsense.
On this show. Everywhere else, fuck that. I got that time. I don't have that kind of time. I'm busy. I'm a very busy lady and I haven't got all day. My goodness.
I'm not convinced you're as busy. You're so busy that you can't possibly respond to an email, but all right.
It depends on the email. I'm not responding to nonsense because then if you respond to all the fucking hot nonsense that you get, guess what? You just get more nonsense.
Yeah,
And
they
we
just keep sending
get
it.
some nonsense.
Yes. Look, I will say this. People dramatically overestimate the amount of free time I have for obscure topics. Like, I get it. I have a reputation on the show of bringing up like very deep cut, very obscure things.
Right.
And it's always great when somebody is like, I am the one person who got that reference and thank you. Now I got my $6.95 worth. Like, that is great. I'm glad for that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But when somebody sends me literally like a 10-page follow-up email about it, like, oh, you made a deep cut reference to this obscure thing. Anyway, I'm obsessed with it. Here's my 10-page dissertation about it. It's like, I definitely don't have time for that. Like,
Yeah.
It was a throwaway line on the show for a reason. Like, I
Yeah.
don't, there will be no follow-up questions. In some ways, it's so good for you to just not have any pop culture references at all, Romaine, because then you don't have to deal with the ramifications of being involved in pop culture.
Yeah.
But you are very Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development.
Okay. I like her, so I'll take that.
Yeah. You are very, I don't understand the question, and I won't respond to it.
Yeah, why should I?
I don't know who that is, and I don't care to find out.
Right.
That's you.
Yes.
That's like you to a T.
Yeah. That's just how it is. And if you don't
But
like
I
it,
will
tough
say this.
shit.
Yes. It is not hard to email Romaine. If you have something important that you have to mention to her,
Yeah.
it's not hard to reach her.
No, it is not.
And she does actually respond.
Most of the time, yes.
If it is
important. If it is
needs a
important, I will
response.
definitely respond. And if I don't, it's because I'm just being stupid or whatever. Because that does happen from time to time. Sometimes I mean to respond to things and then I forget. Or sometimes I mean to respond to things and it takes me a little bit longer than I normally would. But I do try really hard to get back to the important stuff.
So hard.
Yes.
Well, since you're talking about things to do to sort of improve your wintertime,
Yes.
one of the best things actually that people can do is take a break from social media.
Oh my God. That's a great one. Because I wish I could. There are times when I really, really wish I could. Because fuck, man. It can get just overwhelming and annoying. And like sometimes you see all kinds of negative shit that you wish you just could get away from. I love the idea of taking a social media timeout.
Yeah, I actually think we should, well, obviously we're not live right now, but I think we should take suggestions from the listeners. And I think we should have a DNR social media blackout once a year. Because they did a study with teens, with young people.
Yeah.
Who were battling, anxiety and depression and insomnia.
Okay.
And they had them take a week-long break from social media. And it dramatically reduced all three of those problems for them. And in particular, the people who had the most severe depression got the most out of the social media break. Mm. And so I think that obviously a lot of people have already sort of wicked away from social media over time,
right?
Or they have winnowed down to a single platform that is the most representative of their personality instead of being on 6 social media platforms.
Right.
They have focused on the one that they still get the most joy out of. There are people who have struggled to leave Twitter behind, despite its toxicity, because they just, they love the platform. Other people, like, they have migrated to TikTok, and then that is
right.
their, like, absolute hub. Some people are Facebook people, and they're still there, Instagram people, whatever it is. So people will often have, like, a home social media platform, and then they may have dropped the other ones, for their own mental health. But I think it's a good idea to take a week-long break once a year. And especially at peak times of depression,
Sure.
like in the winter, if you are somebody who deals with the gloominess of winter and everything, maybe drop out of social media for a week. But the downside, of course, is that if you are, if part of your depression is that you're not socializing with people, then dropping out of social media will not necessarily improve.
No, I disagree
that.
because you just have to socialize in a different way.
Yes,
like
no, you have to make a conscious
in
effort.
Person,
yes.
So for me, because I really loathe social media in a lot of ways. I mean, I like it for staying in touch with people I care about, but a lot of it is just a lot of noise in my life that I don't really need. But if I want to socialize, and I do enjoy socializing, I make a point of having people over to my house and seeing them in person. Like I do a lot of game nights and things like that. Or like I'll have friends over and we'll just sit around and have pizza and drink some beers or whatever, or watch a movie, watch games, whatever. And I have to say, it has become, for me, really an important part of my life because I realize I need to refill that social battery once in a while. Like I need to see people in person. I need to laugh with my friends. Sometimes when life is just really, really stressful, the best things for me is seeing my friends and hanging out with my friends. Like I will give a lot of credit to our good friend, Adam from Sissytown, because this is something he recognizes, I think, not only about himself, but in other people. Like if he knows I've had a really shitty week, he'll text me on the weekend and be like, hey, want to get together tonight and hang out? And I'm like, oh my God. It's like he has this psychic sense of when I need a hangout. And I'll be like, yes, I would love to do that. Even though I might be feeling shitty in the moment, because I know by the end of that evening, I'm going to feel so much better just from hanging out and just catching up and laughing a little bit, playing games or whatever. Like it is so good for me. And for me, when I do my social media blackouts, it used to be, and I'm sad that it's not like this anymore, but it used to be when we were on cruises, actually, because your cell phones basically don't work, or they didn't work when you were on the cruise ships because the satellite, internet was so shitty that it was just not even worth it. And it was so expensive. It just wasn't even worth it to have it. So I would take my phone and I'd throw it in the safe and I wouldn't look at it for a week. And I loved that. But now it's harder to do that, right? Because now they have pretty good satellite on, satellite internet on the ships, and a lot of the ships have deals and stuff on the Wi-Fi. And so I'm kind of forced to stay in touch a little bit more. But even then, I still try to have whole days where I just put the phone down and walk away from it. So it is good for you to do that. I mean, it's inconvenient, but it's also really good for you.
No, I really think that that if you need to, if you're taking a social media break, you can't just do it spontaneously. Right. You do need to plan ahead.
Yeah.
And
put an out of office message up. Coming offline for a week. Bye.
Well, okay, no. You don't have to actually say in social media that you're taking a break, because when it's so attention seeking when people do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Just take the week off.
Just take
but what
the
I'm
week off.
saying is make other plans for that time, because a lot of what happens is, a lot of what people's time in social media is kind of like empty doom scrolling. So in some ways you kind of have to think about it about quitting smoking or intermittent fasting or something else where you need to fill that time with something else.
Right.
During that social media break. So it could be plan for projects to do at home. It could be plan for social time in person with other people. It could be, any of those things. In the fall, let's say you could take a break from social media for a week by using that time during that week to do Christmas cards for people.
Sure.
Or generic holiday cards if you're, not a Christmas person or whatever, right?
Right.
So you have another activity that you're specifically carving out this time for. So the time that you would have spent doom scrolling in social media, you're actually doing an activity with that time.
Right.
And it's going to have an end to it. And so you can do your project, and when your project is done, then you go back to, the rest of your life.
Right.
But it probably, will put people in a better mindset. The other thing you can do during a social media break is, honey, read a book.
Oh, Let me tell you something. I love to read a book. I love it. And I rarely get to do it at home because I'm the kind of person when I start to read a book, I don't want any interruptions. Like I want to just sit and read my book. I'm like your roommate in this way, I think. And so I usually read on cruises, actually. That's that quiet time that I can actually sit in my cabin and read. But yeah, if I could have like 2 days to read the new Iris Johansson book or the new Patricia Cornwell book or whatever the book is that just came out, that is my dream. I really love to read, but I just don't get to do it as often as I would like to. And for me, again, it is a good way to kind of escape the day-to-day bullshit of my life, and go into a world where those problems don't exist. And I agree. Reading is a great way to kill some time in a much healthier way than doom scrolling on social media.
Yeah. It will,
it enriches your brain, teaches you new words, you know.
But also, as Oscar Wilde said, art should be useless.
Sure.
You know, that you should, like, that's the whole point of it. It's not productive. It is not, other things. It is just a useless thing because it puts your brain in a different place because it's not functional or practical.
Right.
And this is the whole thing about what art should be. I mean, obviously there are aspects of art that can be thought provoking. Novels or paintings or, other pieces of art, architecture that can be thought provoking.
Right.
But it's different than something that is productive.
Sure.
And, so I think you should read a book just for the pleasure of just having that time and reading a book.
Yeah.
And it is good for your brain to just take that time. And you might think like, oh, well, when I'm staring at Twitter for an hour, I'm reading.
No.
It's not the same thing.
Not at all.
And it's not even, and also like reading a newspaper is also not the same because you are digesting information, which a book, I mean, if you're reading something like a historical, account or something, a historical biography or whatever, like, yes, you are absorbing practical information, but, it should be a thing of pleasure and a place to put your brain in another time, in another place, in another world,
right?
Which reading current events or doom scrolling in social media just doesn't do for you.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
So
this is
what
idea.
I think that people should do. Like, take a social media break, but have a plan for what you're going to do with that time.
Yeah.
Because, your phone will tell you how much screen time you do or whatever. You'll know how many hours you have to fill.
Yeah.
And you'll be shocked.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know what else I like to do? I like to do activities with my family that we don't normally do. So like, sometimes.
Love each other?
No. Sometimes it'll be like, I remember like during the pandemic, Iris and I were doing, puzzles. Like we cleared off the dining room table and we'd throw all the puzzle pieces on the table and we'd have like a 5,000 piece puzzle or some shit like that. Some crazy hard puzzle, like not something you can just complete an hour or whatever. And we would work on it, a few minutes every day. We would sit down, usually about 20 minutes, maybe an hour. And we would just sit down and we would work on this puzzle together. And that was really fun too. And again, it engages your brain. You're trying to solve problems and figure out things. But it's also a nice way to just be with your loved ones and everyone contributed. Like even Romy, she couldn't resist when she'd walk by the puzzle, like taking a minute and trying to figure out a couple pieces. Like it's just that was something we did. And we put together some really challenging puzzles.
I think there's a great, here's a great puzzle you can put together for your daughter. You can go into her room, throw everything on the floor and go, clean up this mess.
Oh, yes. Good luck. No, and
that's the mommy dearest puzzle method.
And another thing that we do every once in a while, and this is really fun too, is we will we'll cook something we've never cooked before as a family. So like maybe we'll plan. Like I remember we've done like We've done like Mexican fiestas, or like we did the one year we did all the fondue stuff, or we'll just pick a genre of some kind of recipes or some recipes we've never made before. And then we'll all kind of plan a component that we make that goes with whatever the meal is that we're having. And again, it's something that we do together. That's super duper fun, and everyone contributes, so everyone feels like a little sense of accomplishment in doing it. And then you get to have a really nice dinner as a family, which is also really fun. But try some new recipes. Like, go online, find some new recipes, and try it. Remember when we had the thing where Romy was cooking like once a week, and she would come up with these fun recipes, and she'd cook them all up? It was so fun.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
What did happen to that?
I don't know.
I don't either. Maybe we need to get back to doing that. Maybe I'm feeling inspired.
Oh, God. Is there anything worse?
I don't know. Is there? Why you got to be like that, sir? Let me tell you what Derek does to pass his winter months. He sits at home and watches his giant TV, and he goes back and watches all of his old movies. He blows the dust off them, and there's like an inch of it. And then he sits there and he watches old movies that he's already watched 10 times before. True or false, sir?
False.
Really?
Yeah. That's not how I spend my free time. First of all, I tend to only watch movies and TV, even when we're on a break, at night, like at dinner time to bedtime. It's the only time. So, like, if we have a day off like, from the show,
what the fuck is that?
I'm not sitting in front of the TV during the day.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on when we have a day off. When do we ever have days off?
Girl, we're not live right now.
There's a reason for that. We're working, probably, but that doesn't mean, yeah. So, yeah, we're not just like taking days off willy-nilly.
No, but the listeners don't think about us going on a cruise as being work.
But it is.
It can be.
It most definitely.
It's definitely work for me, because while we're on a cruise, it reminds other people that they want me to deal with their cruise. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I saw you were on a cruise. That reminds me. Can you do this thing with my reservation? Always happens.
Yep.
100%. Oh, no, you're spending time with other people on a cruise. Notice me. Anyway, when I have a day off,
right now.
When I'm not working, when I have some time off, I do genealogy. That is what I do.
That's true. You do spend a lot of time with that.
Because it's, I keep waiting for the day when AI makes it less labor intensive. But genealogy research is incredibly labor intensive. It is one of these things that machine learning and artificial intelligence will dramatically improve.
Right.
Because it's very labor intensive, but it's also the kind of thing where nobody is going to hire 10 people to do it. Like, it's not this is the thing. I know a lot of people have anxiety about, like, AI is going to take your job, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
And there are definitely some jobs that will be lost to the productivity of AI. But the reality of AI is that jobs will get done that otherwise are not getting done.
Right.
So, I have this big thing about, like, I want an AI robot, right, in my house.
Yes, you've talked about that.
To cook and clean and whatever else, and remind me to go to the grocery store and whatever. Tell Nana to take her pills. But the thing is that this is not a job that I'm going to hire somebody to do. Like, maybe I would be convinced to, have somebody come and clean my apartment once a month or something. Like a really, top-down cleaning. Because, I keep things relatively neat. There are not dishes in the sink. There's not crap on the floor. I keep things relatively neat, but it's kind of nice to have somebody come in and, mop the kitchen floor, which is not something I want to do. Or
what? You don't like to mop your floor?
Like all those things. You know what I mean? Like that's not fun. Like, I can keep the place neat, but it gets dusty and there are cobwebs on things and whatever. And that's like a time consuming thing. So, like, yes, maybe I would hire somebody to come in maybe once a month to do really deep cleaning stuff, because the rest of the time I keep it pretty neat and whatever else. But if I had a robot to do it, like, yes, on the one hand, I would then not be hiring a person once, for a few hours a month to do this thing. But the reality is that person is not their career is not going to live and die on whether or not I finally decide to hire somebody once a month, because I have been threatening to do this for decades and it hasn't happened. So in a lot of situations, this is a thing where machine learning will, yes, replace a person, but it will replace a person that was never there in the first place.
Right.
Or it will, like for people who are like elderly people still living at home.
Right.
Most of the time, they are still living at home alone longer than they really should. Because you can't convince them to move out, or there isn't money for them to be in a thing, or there isn't money for like full-time care and whatever else.
Right.
And so it's kind of like a risky thing of like, hopefully they don't fall. Hopefully they don't leave something on the stove and then forget about it and start a fire. Like you're often like gambling against a bad outcome, right?
Right.
Versus we're hiring somebody much earlier to make sure something doesn't happen. Like that's not how most people do it. But again, if you have one of these AI robots that can be there, that can make sure that the oven isn't left on, that make sure they take their pills every day, that make sure that they haven't fallen or whatever, it will be functionally what a person would do.
Sure.
But doing a function, most people are not going to hire a person to do. So anyway, so I do not have the same anxiety about this kind of AI and machine learning, just because the probably 90% of the productivity gains will be in areas that there isn't currently a person being employed. Romaine has used a bit of AI stuff for like marketing plans and that kind of thing.
Sure, yeah.
But again, are we going to hire a full-time marketing person for our
I
business?
can't afford that shit.
Yeah, but also like, no. Like our business is so narrowly specific and structured.
Right.
That like the idea, like what are we going to hire them to do? To tell us what we already know about what our business is? So yes, potentially there is work there, but it's just otherwise just not getting done. Anyway, so with genealogy, this is one of these areas where there will be massive productivity gains in genealogy research, but it's not necessarily replacing human people. But there are some professional genealogists who do professional genealogy work, and some of it will be, you will need to probably have a real person review the actual work that AI is doing. And some things in genealogy research are highly specialized. Like, for instance, Americans who are descended from enslaved people or Native Americans, where there are fewer records.
Right.
And especially for people who are descended from enslaved people, there are records, but actually tying some of the records to individual people can be difficult and time consuming. And even if AI is able to pull together, a possible historical narrative here, it will probably require a person to actually double check to make sure, okay, this is a logical path of whatever else. But I've had this happen with my own genealogy. Like, people ask me about this, and if they are descended from enslaved people in the United States, I tell them all the time, like, I can get you, into the Reconstruction era, but at that point, if you really want to go further back, there are people who specialize in this, and you should talk to them, because they're already in these records. They're already looking at this. And what I research in like the Czech Republic is highly specific and not necessarily portable to other countries or other places. So anyway, but if I have free time, like if I have 4 free hours on a Saturday, that's what I'm doing.
All right. That makes sense. For you, that totally makes sense. I could see that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you spend so much time digging into this treasure trove of genealogy, but because I'd get bored. But I think it's, for you, it's a puzzle you'd love to solve. So it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. And I like that for you as a project. But that's, everyone's got different things. And that's the thing. It's like, when you're thinking about ways you can, pass the time indoors or pass the time in the winter months, there's lots of choices. now that I'm in Texas, one of the things that I am actively seeking is new activities, new groups, new things that I can join. Because not only do I want to make new friends and be social in my new community where I don't really know anybody, but I need some new hobbies. Like, my therapist has been after me for the last year easily to find some new hobbies. She's like, you need a hobby, something you can do that will be you time, that will help take your brain off of stuff, something you just enjoy doing. And so, the winter months is a great time to start thinking about what those activities might be. Maybe if you can't play sports outdoors right now, maybe you can find an indoor sport that you might enjoy. Maybe
San Francisco has a new indoor sport.
Yeah, what's that?
Robot Fight Club.
Shut up. That sounds fun. Is this like that? Is this like those Robo Wars where the robots kill each other?
It can be.
Oh my God, that sounds
so
fun.
Apparently it sort of grew out of the sort of robotics and AI thing and everything. And it is a way for people who are working on like AI,
Right.
robotics and everything to test out how it's going.
Right.
And so they have bars in San Francisco, and they have sort of amateur robot fight nights. And your robots can fight each other.
Okay, that's really fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun / welcome to our dystopian future.
I mean, I don't know. What is worse, people fighting each other for spectator or machines?
No, it's definitely machines. And, we've seen man's inhumanity to man has been pretty terrible.
And not just to man. I mean, we've done it to animals
and to animals
long
and whatever
time
else.
too. It's fucked up.
And so and obviously people have this inside them to be terrible. So in some ways, it's almost better for them to just be terrible to an inanimate object.
Yeah.
To revel in the destruction of an inanimate object.
But we've seen entire movies about this.
Yes.
About, robots basically trying to kill each other for people sport.
Yeah. I mean, the real thing will be what happens, because they already are talking about like the AI becoming self-aware and whatever else. And then if we create a higher sense of consciousness among, these computer entities, then do we have a responsibility to them the way that we do to other living
Well, I don't know.
creatures?
It's not like they can feel pain.
Right. And that is the other thing is even with this, yes, even because they do have these robots, they do have sort of like sensors to them to try to get them to feel not pain, but in a certain way, like if they're lifting something and it is stressing, where they will break, you want the robot to stop doing something that is going to permanently damage it.
Right.
So it's not pain per se in the way that we perceive
Yeah, not pain
but
receptors, more sensors of, malfunction or, some kind of destruction that will make it so that it can't do its job.
But like the robots now, like their big thing is the raw egg test. Like, can a robot pick up an egg and move it to another location
Without crushing it.
without breaking the egg?
Right.
And so it has to have sensors enough to have actually grasped the egg without putting its grasping fingers through the egg itself.
Right.
So that is in and of that's something that we have learned how to do. And we don't even think about it now.
Right.
When you take eggs out of the fridge, you don't be like, oh, I accidentally crushed this egg in my hand
Oh, every
because I
once in a while
gripped
it
it too
happens.
hard. Like, no adult is going to do that. A kid could do that because they don't know.
What are you talking about? I did it just last week. Stuck my finger right into that egg. My brute strength is so intense.
I would say you were joking, but I'm only 50-50 there.
I like that I'm so confusing to you.
No, I mean, just no, I see you putting your thumb through an egg.
It has to be cracked first. I'm not that strong.
Sure. I don't know. That taekwondo.
I mean, I
The
guess.
taekwondo.
Yeah, fair.
Anyway, so these robot fight clubs are like fine.
Yeah.
And I think they should let the robots fight it out. I actually think it's fun, but it's only going to get terrifying because the better the robots are at fighting, well, the more they could be used against us.
True.
Which I think is everyone's fear. But
Right.
as I've said before, what people fear most is being treated the way that they treat others. Mm-hmm. So our fear about these robots and AI is they'll kill us all. It's like, because you would kill us all.
Right.
Like, you're a terrible person. So, of course, you're concerned that if they had power, they would be terrible to you. Like, this is the thing about racists. Like, oh, they don't want, a person of another ethnicity to have power over them because they just assume that that person would be as horrible to them as they would be to that person.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, not everyone is terrible like you. So,
True.
Other people are not out to exact revenge or be horrible just to be horrible. But terrible people always assume that other people are going to be terrible to them because that's what they would do.
Yeah.
So I think that, so I understand people's fear of that. Also, I mean, we've had decades of the robots took over and then they did actually destroy the earth. Mm-hmm. And there is a case to be made that human beings are an invasive species on our planet, and we are the cause of almost all the problems on the planet, and that general artificial intelligence would take one look at what human beings do to our planet and decide, oh, the easiest way to get nature back in balance is to not have human people. Like, they would make a very high quality case for why we're the problem.
Because we are.
Because we are. It's not like, oh, well, otters are the reason that we have climate change. Like, nope. Like, it's just us.
The otters got nothing to do with it.
No.
They're just
Also,
being cute.
even like beaver dams, they've as they have cleaned up, because this happened in New York City. They had like a dirty river up north of New York City that fed into the Bronx River. And anyway, so they cleaned up the stream and everything and blah, 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 blah. And once they cleaned it up, like took all the trash out of it and the runoff, like toxic runoff and everything, dams, the beavers came back and they built dams. And everyone was like, oh, no, now that dams are going to cause like flooding and whatever else. And actually, no, the beavers coming back and putting in their natural dams improved the entire ecosystem around there and actually made flooding better, not worse.
Wow.
Like, there was less flooding after the beavers came on the river, after the beavers came and put their natural dams in again, the way that it had always been. So,
because maybe beavers know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, I know your beaver knows what it's doing.
Most of the time it does. I mean, not always, but
It's the way you sell it.
Sometimes my beaver knows what she's doing.
All right. Do you have any last winter tips and everything before we run? Because we're short on time. I have one more to go.
Well, let's hear yours.
Okay. This is an important food safety tip.
Okay.
Just the food safety tip. There is a real concern, apparently.
Okay.
Of, obviously, like plastics.
Yeah.
Like, don't put plastic in the microwave. Like, don't reheat things in plastic in the microwave because it'll just put microplastics in you. But the worst of these is actually reheating fish.
Who does that?
Well, people will get like fish, like frozen fish, and it will be wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
And they will either put it in boiling water to defrost it or whatever, or they will put it in the microwave in the plastic. And it is especially bad because it can cause you to get salmonella.
Oh, no. Well, you don't want salmonella because that's horrible.
No. I'm sorry, not salmonella, botulism.
Oh,
That's
even
what you get.
worse.
Yeah, botulism is not better. So anyway, whatever you do, like, take that fish out of that plastic. Don't put it in the microwave or boiling water in that plastic. bitch, you're going to end up with botulism.
That's
Which is not a
horrible.
way you want to spend the ass end of the winter months.
Yeah, that does not sound pleasant or good or anything that I want. That sounds like problems with more problems and more problems. And also, ew. I don't want the botulism. I don't want salmonella. I don't want E. coli. I don't want any of those things. Those all sound horrible. I want to be healthy and happy, and I want to be ready to enjoy the spring and summer months. That's what I want, Derek.
All right.
And I think now, after this episode, our listeners are going to be ready to do all those things.
I think so, too. Make good choices.
That's right, listeners. Make great choices. Taking a DNR cruise is everything we say it is and more. But don't just take it from us. Check out what our cruisers have to say.
Derek and Romaine, it's Reed. My husband and wife just got back from the DNR Hawaiian cruise, and honestly, I am still in withdrawal. You two showed that ship how to show a family reunion, but it was better than Thanksgiving, awkward hair, and weird family. Thanks, you guys. This was absolutely probably one of the best cruises we've ever been on, and cannot wait to do it again. You guys have built a wonderful, crazy community, and we are so glad to be a part of it. Make it a great DNR day.
So why wait to join us? Be a part of the DNR family reunion you won't ever forget. We have trips for every price range and with lots of destinations to choose from. Check out all of our upcoming sailings on dnrtravel.com. See you soon!
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.